Hi everybody. Today we will talk about a topic connected to sustainable packaging. We set beyond the box and we will explore today with Assistant Professor Dr. Iva Stratijević from the UNT and myself. I am Professor Dr. Urška Vrabić-Brodnjak. I'm coming from University of Ljubljana in Slovenia. That's in Europe. So what are the most used packaging materials today? We have a bunch of packaging materials like cardboard, paper. We have a lot of plastic, a lot of unnecessary plastic. We also have wood, textiles, and so on. But the most problematic types of packaging materials are for sure plastic materials, and we are trying to protect our environment to reduce such kind of packaging. Lately, there are many terms of bioplastics and terms regarding sustainable packaging materials. So I want to discuss what are the main differences between the terms of bio-based, biodegradable, and compostable packaging materials. So what are bio-based materials? Bio-based materials are the ones that are fully or partly derived from renewable resources. We know cornstarch, cellulose is very common, then sugarcane, some alginates, something that comes from nature. Then we have biodegradable packaging materials. Biodegradability is chemical process, but still sometimes could be noted the same as compostable. But biodegradable materials are the one that can be chemical processed during some nature or other environmental processes with the use of micro and other organisms. It can be on the landfill, it can be at home, and so on. But compostable packaging materials are the one that can be composted. That's a process that is subjected to controlled composting processes regarding temperature, humidity, with the use of microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, and others. This compostable process can be done at home, or much more used is, of course, at the industry. So what is sustainable packaging? What we are looking for when we are talking about new material innovation, to include some less environmentally problematic materials into the system. That's where we reduce environmental footprint, when we consumer engagement include, when we design our packaging to be reusable, to be reduced, or to be repurposed, to include minimalism, to use less packaging material when needed, to use also biodegradable inks, dyes, adhesives, which are important for the packaging material itself. And what is important, to include also locals and local sourcing. That's why sustainable packaging emphasizes the use of eco-friendly materials, as we said, bioplastics, recycled paper, and as said before, to use all this kind of bio-based, biodegradable, or compostable materials. So what are the mechanisms to discard? We have problems when you talk about bio-based, compostable, or biodegradable materials. We have difficulties to what to put into one bin or to another. That's why we have different mechanisms. For bio-based packaging, for example, there can be recycling with other plastics if the utility or the industry can do that. We can have also the composting if the certified compostable biomaterials is on the market, or sometimes, or let's say mostly happens that they end on the landfill, but since they are bio-based or biodegradable, they can be easily composted. When we talk about biodegradable packaging, we have to obey that we have biodegradation process. There is possible also to be composted or to be at the landfill. But at compostable packaging materials, it's important to be composted, to be industrial composted or at home. It depends how and from which materials this packaging is produced. It can also be composted or recycled and be on the landfill. Since we are doing a lot of research with Professor Istratijević regarding the US and the European type of packaging materials, we are doing a lot about branding and using the sustainable packaging solutions in fashion, in apparel and cosmetics and so on. We have came to the conclusion that there are of course differences in waste management processes in US and in Europe. So what is important? Important is what certain country has the waste sorting, what is with the collection systems, how is with the recycling rates, with targets, and how and what happens at the landfill. So the regulations and the directives that are among all that, it's important how to be produced and how to be implemented into the country system regarding the waste management of packaging materials.